Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake the fuck up. This is WTFU with your hosts, Thomas Horazzo, Gizo, and Chantel London. Staying woke from the US to the UK.
Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land. It's WTFU America. Here with my dude, Tom Horazzo.
Yo.
Got Chantel London.
Yo, yo, yo.
And, Jadon Gizo. I'm saying Jadon Gizo because that's my government and my stage name, damn it.
So you giving it away. So now we can figure out if anyone's trying to ask, who's Gizo? I think his real name is Jadon.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
giving away a lot.
You know what I'm saying? But, on 9/11, this historical day in America, which is kind of a sad day. I don't know if everybody wants to talk about where they were at that day. I want to talk about it because I was actually in the area. But I worked today. Tom, I don't know if you want to talk about where you was at. But,
you want to start off on that?
Yeah, that day, 9/11, 2001, I was actually working.
Were you in the city?
Yeah, I was in the city. I was down there earlier before the first plane hit, and actually I was in the Bronx when the plane hit, and I saw these, plain clothes, plane detective cars going downtown. I'm like, what the hell? So back then, I didn't even have, it was no Sirius XM, or maybe it was. Actually, Joe Madison was saying that was the day that Sirius XM was supposed to kind of start, and then they got knocked offline or something like that. Anyway, 1010 wins. If y'all know about 1010 wins. I listened to it, and then it sounded like, I'm like, what? The towers got hit? What the? So then I had a job in Midtown, and I knew what happened already. Then I'm going across the 59th Street Bridge, Queensboro Bridge, and you see all the smoke coming from downtown. People got their hazard lights on going to Queens, and it's just like a movie, like, oh, ish. And then, the phone lines were not working. The missus thought I was like, she didn't know what, she thought I might have got caught up in that. It was just a sad day. We couldn't even leave like the area because they shut down all the bridges, all flights were canceled. Like area was just like pandemonium in New York City that day. And people, you seen the footage, people coming uptown on foot trying to beat the dust clouds and people jumping, and it was just crazy, man.
Yeah, man. I remember I got woke up. I was working overnights even then, in this warehouse, and my pops woke me up. He was like, he's like, it looks like we're under attack. You know what I mean? Like I woke up and just, I was in a daze, and I happened to wake up just in time to see the, live on video, basically the second tower get hit. Like, oh shit, this shit is crazy. But, what's funny, me and Chantel got to, while she was over here, and I'm glad that we got you safely back home, Chantel. But, we got to see the 9/11 memorial, and that was the first time I've ever seen it. I kind of felt, I guess it's safe to say that I felt some type of way about seeing it. I know some, my wife wanted to see. I was like, nah, I'm not really interested. I just felt like I don't know, man. I just didn't want to be around it. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the actual site where the whole shit happened. It's not like we have Vietnam memorials all over the place. There's several just in this area, but it's not where the people died. You know what I'm saying? Freaking, this is just, usually a big piece of granite with all the names, but actually going to the 9/11 site, where all the death and destruction happened. Like, I just felt like, and I don't know, and I just I don't know. I didn't want to do it, but I'm glad I got to do it.
It was a
Go ahead, Chantel.
it was a very somber moment actually, and I think they've actually created a beautiful tribute to the victims of 9/11. I can't believe it's actually been 17 years. Like when we was there and we kind of worked it out, I was like, wow, it's been so long, you know. It doesn't feel like it was so long. And I remember watching it on TV like everyone else, and it was like watching a movie. Like it was really hard to believe, you know, what was happening. And you know, I guess it touched us all in some way. But you know, if you're from New York, or you know people from New York, or you're close to New York, you know, obviously you're going to feel it a lot more. So
Right.
it's going to be hard for a lot of people today, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, and then I think about even, you know, of course today is about the victims, but for me it's tough to not think about the aftermath. Right, we went to war nearly immediately in Afghanistan. You know, I think it was no more than 3 or 4 days that we were already dropping bombs, you know, on the Taliban. Right, we already had Air Force personnel on the ground pointing out targets, wiping out freaking hundreds of Taliban fighters, which I'm okay with. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be mad at that. But then we somehow got suckered into Iraq. And you know, and obviously, I'm not gonna say I got suckered. I volunteered to join the Marines, and you know, once you join, you're down for whatever. Yeah. Basically, you know, it's like a gang, right? You can't sit there and say I just want a part-time gang bang. You know, no, you got to do what you know your country, you know, quote unquote, ask you to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then we wind up losing over 5,000 more, you know, troops in the subsequent wars. So 5,000 more Americans, countless. I don't know how many Afghanis and Iraqis died, and they weren't all combatants. You know, we have to keep it real. You know, a lot of it was collateral damage. And I was just talking with my coworker this morning, you know, and because you know, we have a flag at my job, and I went up and I lowered it to half staff or whatever, but. My thing, again, I start to think about, have we learned our lesson? You know, have we learned the lessons, you know, of not necessarily messing with other countries and then taking the threat seriously? You know, because when I look back at some of the intelligence that's publicly known, I just wonder, was stuff missed on purpose? You know, I don't want to get conspiratorial here, but the shit, and I don't even want to go down that path, but the stuff is it doesn't paint a pretty picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think America's. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, right. I just think that we have our hands in everything all over the world. We have interests, and it's a lot of stuff going on here that we're going to be talking about that we're not addressing. But, you know, we're all in other parts of the world doing things that, you know, we shouldn't be doing, but that's a whole nother conversation. And just one thing on the 9/11 memorial, when I went down there last year with the family, it kind of, maybe because it was a nice day and it was daytime, it was like peaceful to me, because I was there when I was there after the towers got hit. I mean, I saw the destruction after, the smells you could imagine what the smells were like, you know, seeing people crying, people, you know. I actually worked in the Bank of New York, which is right next to, it was next to World Trade Center 7. That's the last building that fell. And I had a dude that was working there, and he said, yo, the whole building shook. And, you know, they're running, you know, people trying to go across the Brooklyn Bridge, and I could imagine just working there and just imagine a plane hitting a building and you feel your building shake and you're like, what the, and you know, it's still emotional to me in a way, even though it's like, it's kind of like my mother passing away. Like my mother passed away in 2000, then 2001, 9/11. So it's like, you know, it
was a bad couple years there.
Yeah. So, but you know, you grow and, you know, time heals, you know, a lot of stuff, but sometimes you know you can't forget, but definitely can't forget. But I guess it gets a little better as time goes on. But you know, all those people, man, you see people jumping, you know, from like 100 floors. I mean, actually, me and my man, rest in peace, we delivered like maybe 2 years before 9/11 or a year before 9/11 happened. I mean, we was up on the top floor, and I remember I was arguing with him. I was mad, and I don't want to go into the whole thing, but. Yeah, I basically threw the key on the top of the truck because, you know, it was like some bum part-time gig. He got me with his cousin, and it was just like some bullshit, bullshit. And I left him up there, and I was like, yo, I ain't doing this shit. And we was up on the 100th floor, then I left him up there. But then he got down, of course, after we finished, but that shit was crazy, man. Imagine being up on the 100th floor, and, you know, you can't get to the staircase because it's on fire, and you're like, yo, we're going to jump. You saw some couples just jumping, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man, to think, yo, we just gonna have to jump, you know. and die. That's some real shit right there, man.
Yeah, man. Real quick, thanks, Couch Talk TV, Amazing Confections, D Holla. Thanks for joining us, guys. So let's go ahead and get into what we wanted. There's so much, honestly. There was so much fucking news while Chantel, while you were down here.
Yeah.
You know, we're paying attention to the news, and we're like, man, there's so many topics to talk about. But you know, of course, we always have that tough time. We had to narrow it down. And Chantel, you wanted to talk about Serena Williams, right? This whole thing, you know, and she's been kind of, this has happened to her before, right? Where she's been vocal, let's just say very vocal with officials, you know, on the court. And, you know, obviously the criticism that comes with it. So, and you wanted to share your thoughts and feelings on that.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, as we're all aware, Serena Williams lost out on her 24th Grand Slam last Saturday. I'm not too into tennis, but when it comes to the Williams, I think like a lot of us, we kind of pay a bit more attention. I know, like, if I am to watch tennis, it will be because one of the, you know, when, you know, obviously Venus was playing as well, it would be because one of the Williams sisters was playing, and it was actually nice back in the day to see the two sisters competing against one another as well. It was always kind of interesting to watch. They're so powerful and strong when it comes to their sport. And, you know, she got defeated to Naomi Osaka, I hope I say her name correctly, and that's her first Grand Slam title. So whatever the result of that match was, it was going to become historic in one way or another. But as you all know, that match was marred in a lot of controversy because Serena Williams, she received 3 violations during that day. The first was for hand signals, illegal coaching, they call it. The second was for her smashing her racket, which I put down to probably a lot of frustration and pent up emotion, etc., etc. And the third was what they're calling verbal abuse, and of course that's quite subjective. Some people might see it as abuse, some people just might say she was being vocal. But anyway, off the back of these violations and all this stuff happening, it created a lot of media attention, and not just, you know, in the States, but internationally, worldwide, because this is a worldwide sport and she's known worldwide for her athleticism. And there was a few, I guess, some topics that have come up off the back of this that I wanted to touch on. So Serena Williams went public and said, you know, the way she was treated is down to sexism because she's a woman. She feels like she's been penalized, right? And a lot of people are co-signing this and saying, you know, similar things have happened to male tennis players. You know, they said things in the past and nothing's happened. You know, they haven't been fined. And before I actually get further on, I just touch base on this fine? So a lot of people kind of led with the whole situation that she got fined for $17,000. Can I just mention that she's worth $180 million? So $17,000 is actually nothing. It's just a token, a gesture to say we're taking some money away from you, but that's like $10 to her. So that's actually nothing. I feel like the real topics and issues here are whether this is sexism or racism. Is there a touch of colorism there? And also the way the media and within our own community are reaction to this whole situation. So first of all, going to the media reaction, that's been mixed. Now, one of the newspapers that really kind of, I guess, has got on people,
Chantel,
is the Australian.
I'm losing you a little bit. Sorry. Okay, now I can hear you. You
good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So the Herald Sun was a newspaper in Australia, and that's angered a lot of people, primarily because of the way they caricatured Serena Williams and kind of made her look like some big, abrupt, angry black woman stomping her feet on her tennis racket, and then it's almost like they've depicted her tennis player, who's obviously, you know, biracial, having blonde hair, looking very, you know, small and petite in comparison, and it just plays on those associations and those stereotypes of this angry and aggressive black woman. And, you know, it's quite typical, I think, of the media kind of pick up on this and just portray, you know, black people or black women in this way, which is a lazy stereotype. But I think for me, aside from that, which I think is unacceptable is how Tom and I, we spoke about this when I was in the States, internal racism within our community.
Right.
And I think this is going to become a recurring theme actually in future topics, but it's worth touching on today. Anytime something seems to happen within, with a celebrity, whether it be Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, who I was initially going to talk about today, or whether it be Serena Williams or some other prominent, black star, black athlete, etc., it seems to give some people the excuse to use it to put out their narrative or put out their agenda or their thoughts when it comes to whether it's the black woman or the black man in general. And I was looking on someone else's channel yesterday. There was another commenter talking about this situation, and basically his stance on this was that Serena Williams is a sore loser. And of course, if you're going to come out on your channel and kind of say something like she's a sore loser, the likelihood is that your listeners, the people who are watching your channel and reacting to your content, are going to co-sign it. Usually when people co-sign what you've got to say, they just go a bit further and they take it to an extreme. So couple of examples of what I see as sort of internal racism are going to come out in these comments that I got here. So if you just bear with me 1 second. Okay. So I'm not going to say the people's names because they just keep them anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
But I am just going to read out their comments. So one guy said, okay, where are we? Okay, bear with me. Sorry, my computer is being slow. Okay, just bear with me. All right, okay, here we go. So yeah, so one guy's my computer, my page keeps jumping. Sorry.
All right.
I'm trying to get here.
I just as you're looking, I remember they tried to paint even Barack Obama, as an angry black man. It's like, come on. Barack Obama is probably the freaking the sweetest guy. No, not on some funny stuff, but
he's probably gone out his way the most not to be depicted as these lazy stereotypes, and yet people still find a reason.
Right, and he had to bite his lip a lot.
Right, and it just shows when people sort of reach for straws sometimes, don't they?
Right.
Okay, right, here we go. So this is what one person said. I'm glad this sellout bed wench lost. She's yet another black queen showing her how regal she is. Laugh my ass off.
Damn.
LAMO.
That's a pretty serious comment. Shit.
And this, yeah. And it was a black guy that said this. Another one said, this is shameful. Her behavior has always been a disgrace. Once again, another belligerent, stink attitude black woman with her entitlement behavior. It was embarrassing. And for me, these are just, and there was more comments like these. Those are just two that I picked out. And this is where I really wanted to touch on today. This issue when it comes to these attitudes and this hostility that we seem to get within our own community. And I feel like when it comes to racism and prejudice and ignorance, I think that we really need to tackle this internally first, because of course, society and the media and the government are doing what they do. There are social economic issues within our community. There's, historical racism, historical segregation, etc., that all play a part in now. But until we start to kind of understand the nuances and, what has led us to where we are, I don't think we're going to be able to build as a community when we keep battling against one another. Now, whether or not you believe that Serena acted in the right or wrong, you have to really put your thoughts towards that individual. But when you start using that person as an example to now, belittle and talk down about an entire group of people, that's where I think we've got a major problem.
Yeah, I want to say something.
What you guys think. Go ahead.
Can I put my voice in here real quick? I think it's some racist-ish because John McEnroe used to. Did y'all say anything about John McEnroe?
No, we hadn't mentioned him yet.
Yeah, he used to break. People used to go to the game to see him bug out on the refs. So, again, we got black. That's one strike. Woman, that's another strike. So yeah, okay, it's all good for a white tennis player to, get mad and break, the tennis racket and curse out the ref. He could do all that. But as soon as, they just hating on Serena, they want to take certain drug tests because she's so muscular just because she's a thick lady, African. You know what I mean? Like most African ladies are. You know, she's like one of the. You know, she's really on her shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she was born like that. It's not like she's taking any. I don't think she ever tested positive for anything. So they want to do this. She just had a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like. What you gonna say?
No, so supposedly years ago she has popped, for some stuff. You know what I mean? Of course, these lists, these lists are kind of crazy. Like all these different supplements. I feel like it's a little unfair sometimes to these athletes. So like, come on, man, this like basically I can't even have a freaking Red Bull. You know what I'm saying? Fucking before my match because you're gonna make me like this is performance enhancing. Like yo, fucking, I say fucking let them do whatever the hell they want, But to your point though, about John McEnroe, yeah, it was comical when he was insulting. Right, we still see the commercials from back in the day. Right, come on, this, that, and the third. But yeah, we have to stop falling for like to Chantel's point though. It's like we're letting we're actually accepting of the double standard. Oh, she's at let her act the way she wants at. She's not representative. And if she wants to sound off, she feels like she's been wronged. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, why are we letting people dictate how we should behave? You know what I mean? Oh, we need to have class.
Right, and my thing is that, like, this is the thing, that she sounded off. Now, from what I've seen of the footage, she said what she said. Now, some people might say, she shouldn't speak to someone who's more, superior to her in that way. It's rude, whatever the case is. But I think, like, a lot of people taken into context, in that moment she was probably very emotionally charged, she was very frustrated, and she just said what was on her mind. And it's almost like she says what's on her mind in that moment, but it then gives people the excuse to then say, oh, well, yeah, typical black woman, angry black woman, aggressive black woman. It just gives people that excuse to throw that label on her, where it's like, as a black woman, she's not allowed to just in that moment express how she feels without people then almost throwing her over the bus and saying, oh, well, this is what we expect of her. I feel like if it was someone else, they wouldn't get those same associations, and they would be more freely to be angry when they want to be angry, or to be emotional when they want to be emotional. And then that moment would pass, and then you would be able to assess them and judge them based on their character in totality, rather than using an excuse to say, well, this is her trait, and this is the times when we see her being who she really is. And I just feel there's a real double standard there when it comes to like racial dynamics in our community.
Sure. And absolutely. And I was just watching a video, Shanta, you probably don't know the guy. This dude is named Jason Whitlock. I believe is he a former NFL player? Do you know him at all, Jizo? Basically, he's a commentator on one of the sports talk shows. I mean, and he's a big guy. He wears hats every once in a while, and he was commenting on
Fox.
LeBron. He was commenting on Kaepernick recently, and it was just like this guy's, and I don't even know how to phrase it, but his his disconnect from his fellow Black American is just so large that you can fit a freaking semi truck right through it. This is his thing. His thing is because he has wealth, right? And LeBron has wealth, and Kaepernick has wealth. That their lives as Black Americans are way different. So his angle is that it's a class, it's a money thing. It has nothing to do with race. He's trying to extract. Yes, Callie. Yeah. So the comment is that fat fuck. Yeah. I'm kind of fat myself, but I don't want to be a fucking D Holla. We have another comment. He's a fat fucking coon. Thank you guys for filling in the blanks here, because sometimes I don't necessarily, I'm Hispanic. I can't be calling people coons, but I understand the definition of it, and I think he fits the bill. According to my research, he fits the bill perfectly. But this guy, he's trying to say, right, this is a wealth thing, not necessarily a freaking, and it's just like, it's bullshit. Because he's like, oh, when I go to my apartment on the 4th floor of XYZ building, I'm gonna throw my keys to the valet, and the guy's gonna say, can I get you anything, Mr. Whitlock? Right, and then I'm gonna go inside, and the guy, the doorman or whoever, the guy at the counter, the security guard, oh, Mr. Whitlock, I got a package for you. Is there anything else I can do for you today, Mr. Whitlock? And it's like, dude, you don't understand that, and he's like, yeah, it might be a Mexican who's driving my car, it might be a black dude who's at my door. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he doesn't understand that his fucking neighbors, they may greet him, right? I mean, hey, how's it going, Jason? At the end of when they close the door, this fucking fat fuck, this fucking Uncle T, this fucking piece of shit N-word.
Look what happened to Ving Rhames. He got the cops called on him in his backyard, and you think that they didn't know that he lived there? I mean, he's a fucking multimillionaire.
Right.
Excuse
they
me.
wanted to. They needed to find an excuse to bust his balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going back to Chantel's point, right? This internal thing. Guys like Jason Whitlock, you know what I mean, are just. I mean, they're selling out for the cash, and it's just sad.
He cooning, man.
Yeah, I mean, what's that? What's that all about? I don't know, man. Of course, we have it on the Latino side. We've got it on all sides. You know, it's just it's really sad because you know we and what's the old saying, right? You got to wipe off, you got to clean your front porch before you can start to move out to the street and clean that up. You know what I mean? And he's part of the trash that's sitting right there on our freaking on our stoop.
I think he's doing it for.
And that's the thing, you know. I mean, if you're a person of real influence, I mean, obviously, I read out 2 examples of tweets, and these guys are not influential people. They're just backing, you know, a video they see on YouTube. You know, one of them has their picture shown, one of them don't. They could all even be doing it as a trolling effect, or maybe they do have some hate in their system. I think it's quite ironic how one of them accused her of being a bed wench, yet he's digging, you know, dissing black women. So perhaps he doesn't date black women himself, but yet he wants to criticize her for her choice in relationships, right?
Right.
But basically, in layman terms, you know, I was listening to Uncle Madison. He had a caller calling that was a tennis coach 7 days a week from, he said, February to November. Only thing that she did wrong, she threw the tennis racket. But everything else, she had a right to argue with this guy, the ref or whatever, like everybody else does. Like, they making a big deal. She took off her shirt. She had a sports bra, and, like, it's all right when a man takes off his shirt, like, you know, they acting like she took off her shirt and she was showing, you know, her boobs and shit. Like, come on, like you can't do everything if you're a black athlete, especially if you're a black female athlete. Like, you know, it's just like being black in America. You have to be perfect, like kind of like Obama, like, but they still talk about his family. Or they look like apes. Oh, Michelle Obama's a tranny. All this, you know, it's just hate.
You can never be perfect.
Yeah, you
can do
be
everything above, you know.
Yeah, you can't be perfect. No one's perfect.
But they will always find a reason to criticize you because they want to criticize you. Like if someone wants to love you, they will find a reason to love and justify your actions, right?
Exactly.
If someone wants to hate and criticize you, they will. And I always say this is my analogy. You know, when you go for a job interview, right? If the person interview you likes you, even if you know, make a mistake during your interview process and you stumble on a couple questions or you don't answer them the way they might expect, if they like you and they're feeling you, they will still want to hire you. If from you walk in and they don't like the way you look or the way you present yourself, etc., they will have more criticisms of you and you're less likely to get the job. That's my belief anyway. Like, I feel like in the past I've had job interviews where, because I've just been quite, you just know when they like you and you just know when they don't like you, and that energy feeds off, and then you almost you know what their reaction is going to be. And it happens in real life. People will always find criticism when they want to, and people will always find compliments when they want to as well. So that's just how it is, really. And you know, like the example of Barack Obama, he didn't put a foot wrong. He's not never strayed on Michelle. He was never involved in any kind of controversy, etc. But people still wanted to try and find fault. But
he got kicked out of Disneyland, though, Chantel. That's the big thing now. He got kicked out of Disneyland for smoking on the little gondola thing, whatever that brings you, around the little sky. Have you heard about that?
Wow, I never heard about that. That's when
I
he was
didn't
a president.
hear about that, but they wanted to be so deep.
Right.
Yeah, they wouldn't do
but
that.
Yeah, you've got Trump now, and it's like it doesn't matter what he does. People find a justification for absolutely everything, and just turn a blind eye as well.
Sure. Right. I mean, they're just, their hearts are corrupted. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I've stopped having these conversations with Trump supporters. It's just like, I can't get to you, man. You're too far gone. You're in that. What's funny is, we have a term, right? The sunken place. You know what I'm saying? That's usually reserved for guys like Jason Whitlock, to be honest with you, and some of those people that you mentioned in the comments, whether those are real black people or not. On social media, you get to live out, you know what I mean? Right? I could be on social media, I could be a white girl, you know what I'm saying, with blonde hair, big breasts, you know what I'm saying, freaking, if I wanted to be, right? On some crazy, right, on some catfish stuff. So we can never trust the social media. But yeah, these guys, if they're real, they're in that sunken place. They've been defeated. I call it Stockholm syndrome. The enemy has had them so long, had their minds captured for so long that now they're with the enemy. They realize, hey, the best way for me to get by is to join the enemy, believe in what he believes in, and I'll keep getting my meal. I'll keep getting my 3 meals a day, a cup of water, and I'll be fine. And it's just sad when the mind dies like that. You know what I mean? When your body's actually free.
Free rat in the chat room. Yeah, I had said something about John McEnroe like 5-10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They said they salute to everyone. They how we forgot about John McEnroe used to curse refs out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's a double standard, but it is what it is. We just gotta deal with it. We here.
So I mean, for me, in closing, I've always been a big fan of Serena. You know what I mean? I've always, I love anytime. And like, I think it was Cali Connected. Yeah, when Serena, that's when I watched. I'm looking at the schedule. When's Serena on? Yeah. Beside all that, there's a couple other ones out there that I like to, watch them hit.
I wanted my dude Blake to win, one time, but he just didn't have enough. And then like 2 or 3 years ago, the cops,
right? They freaking talking about some credit card scheme. He was threw him down to the ground, and he had a point. Yo, what the F is you think that I'm and so you just run up on me and push me down to the ground, fucking hurt me? Yeah. The guy's body is worth money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, and even if it wasn't, forget about the Blakes who are worth money. You know what I'm saying? Fucking anybody. You know what I'm saying? You don't just run up on someone over credit card fucking theft, you know what I mean, and tackle them. Yeah, you know what I mean? Ask them, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. It's fucking, and that was what, in NYC, right?
Yeah, that was in NYC.
Ah, shit. Well, fuck it. Chantal.
Tom, never mind not saying the F word anymore. Tom,
just say
it like
we gotta get a swear jar. I'm sorry, Uncle Madison. We need a swear jar in here.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna give up.
He's gonna be doing all the editing anyway. It's cool.
Yeah, but I have to watch. I gotta listen to the show, 2 and 3 times to go over it all. But yeah, I gotta. Maybe I'm just gonna abandon the whole no F word thing. Yeah. I'll see, man. Sorry.
We're gonna abandon it now.
Right.
Swear jar.
So Chantal, any final comments on this thing? What do you think? At the end of the day,
I just think we need to. At the end of the day, we need to be mindful when these situations occur. We need to just have balance, and we just need to look at it in as much of a neutral way as possible. And I know, like, as Black people, when we see situations like this that are all over the media, sometimes we do feel a bit embarrassed. Like, is this person making us look bad, right? And then sometimes the reaction is, they're making us look bad, so we're gonna now almost go against them. And we can't do that. We've got to really assess the situation, look at it from the person's perspective, and just be balanced and just show some compassion. And I have compassion for Serena Williams in the situation that she was in. I think being in that pressure cooker of an environment, you're gonna like just let out sometimes, right? And I think that we need to have support for our community and our people. And we need to back them. We need to be there for them, because she has and she will continue to face enough criticism as it is. We've seen it in the media. We saw it from Australia, and all around the world, people are going to have ugly and derogatory things to say about her. So we need to stand up and just try and show a level of support so that she knows that we've got her back. And if there is a real legitimate reason to call someone out on their behavior, we'll do it then, but not if it's not justified.
Right.
This is America.
Word up. And
go ahead.
Go ahead. Just I agree with everything you said, Chantal. And if for those out there who don't like Serena, have a nice day and go F yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And damn the US Open. They be making mad traffic over there by LaGuardia, man. I'm tired of that ish. Shout out to rest in peace Arthur Ashe, because that was the stadium, they named the stadium after him because he was a great tennis player. I think he had HIV/AIDS.
I'm not sure, but I know he was a big, his whole thing with South Africa, right, with the apartheid. Yeah. He was very vocal in that. He played out there.
Can you look that up, Tom? Because I don't want to be on record saying.
No, go ahead.
Can I look it up on here?
Yeah, go ahead. You got the computer.
Yeah, I got the computer. I'm bugging.
All right, so
yeah, Arthur Ashe, I think he did pass away of let me make myself sure here.
All right, Gizo's gonna double check. If anybody in the chat room knows what Arthur Ashe died of, please let us know. See if you can beat Gizo to the Google machine. Yeah, absolutely, JPS. Of course, See, that's what's funny about white anger, right? It's normalized, right? That's acceptable. Right. That's fine. You know what I mean? But when when a person of color does it, that's
as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a strong white man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did die of AIDS in 1993.
Okay. Yeah. We got to confirm by JPS. Salute to you, JPS. Jesvar, what up? Chris, thanks for joining us.
But he was a great tennis player.
Yeah, man, word up. So, Gizo, it's time for you to go. You wanted to bring something to the table here, and I'm flashing, I'm saying here. George Zimmerman, what's good with him, man?
Like I said, fuck boy George, man. He might try to come after me. I don't care. I'll put it on it. I'll put it on his fuck you. Yo, man, dude, man. Yo, first of all,
Gizo, don't let me say that word. Gizo, don't let me call you out on the show.
Yo, man, you London lightweight. You a London lightweight. She came over here. Real 30-second pause.
Not even lightweight.
30-second. She come over here. I got Caribbean blood. I'm gonna drink you under the table, and she can't even finish 2 drinks at SOBs. What's up with that? And it was that Ray and nephew, your uncle and nephew. What trying to drink that with? You know what I'm saying? I'm putting
Wait till we get to the shooting videos.
Oh, who shot better? Who shot better?
That was you didn't shoot. That was the Tom's target. That was a Tom's target. You know. Anyway, we're gonna get on Zimmerman. And I know I was talking to a friend of mine. He's still talking about it. But the only reason I would say, yeah, I'm still talking about it because it still angers me. And that Jay-Z, he just finished doing it. Well, not finished, but the documentary just finished a 6-part episode. And last night I saw the last part, right? And, between working and stuff, I'm not going to go into detail. You guys can help me out. Tom, Chantel in the chat room. This dude, okay, you got off a murder where you walked up on a young teenager, you stalked him. Let's talk about the case real quick. 30 seconds synopsis. So if the prosecutors would have turned into a stalking case, which it was, because they talking about the defense and other people that started defending George Zimmerman talking about he stood his ground. What about Trayvon standing his ground? What if I have a son and he's walking home and I don't care if you're the neighborhood patrol, you coming up on my son, following him, that the 911 caller told, whatever you want to call it, 911 operator told you don't follow him. You got out your car, follow him at night. Then you started a fight, which you probably could have won because you're a grown-ass man. You fighting against a teenager. George Zimmerman was doing MMA, which I'm about to go to, jiu-jitsu. It's not like he was a 60-year-old man running up on Tybo Ho, whatever you want to say. It's not like he was running up on a 60-year-old man running up on a 15-year-old. George Zimmerman looked like he was about maybe 25, 30. Maybe he was the oldest, 35. I don't know how old he is. What the point is, the matter of the fact, he's a grown man running up, and he probably got his ass whipped, and then he going to pull out his gun. And then, okay, so he did that, right? So the prosecutors messed up. They didn't go after George Zimmerman the way they should have. Now he's off. Now he's out here selling, Trayvon Martin had a bag of Skittles and some watermelon, whatever, Arizona iced tea. Now you think that you would go into seclusion, just stay out the public eye. No, this dude, he gets with all these places. He's trying to he sold the gun online, autographing the gun, talking about this is the gun that killed Trayvon. Then he's holding Skittles in his pockets when he meets people. He pulls out a bag of Skittles and signs it. Yo, what kind of bitch ass shit is that? Real talk. I don't care. Yo, you could be from the hood. You could be from Beverly Hills. Anybody that got a family member that got killed like that, and you going around, especially in the hood. You going around boasting that you killed a friend or a family or a son of mine, and you didn't even give him a fair one. You gonna have a gun? I can see if you shot the fair one, but you a grown ass man, so you still wouldn't have got no points for starting with a young kid. And then people acting like, and that's how much racism is in America, because you got these people acting like he's the victim because he was in a fight. Yo, he started the fight. So you got your ass whipped and you want to pull out a gun. That's some bitch ass shit. I don't care. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. If he was young, if he was Trayvon's age and you coming up on a dude and y'all getting the scuffle and then you want to shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Come on, B. That's what had me tight, and people still like, well, he stood his ground. No, what about Trayvon standing his ground? So this guy selling Skittles with his autographs on it. Like Tom said, late last year they was finishing up the production. The guy, one of the producers, he was a private investigator. He's going around trying to find information on George Zimmerman, his family. George Zimmerman finds out, threatens the guy, sends like 65 texts, calls, voicemails, emails, threatening the guy. Threatened Beyonce, called her a broke whore. Everybody knows Beyonce is no broke whore. Called Jay-Z a bitch. Yo, who are you? You gonna probably get, something done to you. You talking about millionaires here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Jay-Z and Beyonce is almost worth $1 billion. So what are you talking about? You were just a hating ass, racist ass coward. You're a coward.
Bitch ass.
Yo, I'm gonna still do the song on him, man. Like, I just ain't been really, like, he getting my pressure boiling, like, on some Jadakiss shit right now. Like,
yeah. So Free Rat says, Zimmerman should be a lesson in why you can't respect the shooter. Personally, this whole thing about respecting the shooter, I know Jay-Z kind of made that, that phrase, I guess, popular about respecting the shooter. I don't know if I can if I can agree with that. It depends, right? You respect I respect people who use force in a righteous way to defend themselves and others. Yeah. That's what it boils down to. If you're out there shooting people over stupid shit, you don't get any respect from me, including Zimmerman. Me as a pistol instructor, I try to warn people. I try to tell people your best defense is your 2 feet, right? Your 2 feet. Walk away, right? You now have a pistol at your side. That doesn't mean that you are now deputized. You're not a police officer.
Exactly.
You're not in the military. You're not Rambo. You need to walk away. In fact, I would say if you have a pistol on you, you need to actually be less combative than you were prior to owning and carrying a pistol. So before, if you were likely to pop off, you know what I'm saying? You have to be less likely to pop off. You need to walk away and be mature.
Yeah, Cali Connected said that super headline when I said blood pressure's boiling right now. Yeah, that's like one of my best songs ever Jadakiss did. Yo, that I might go bump that when I go to the gym.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, you going to say something, Chantal?
Can I just say something? Yeah, I was going to say something. I kind of co-sign what Tom was just saying about respecting the shooter. Like, I feel like, yeah, you respect the shooter if the shooter shot for legitimate reasons, like if you're shooting to protect yourself or protect your family, etc., because you needed to do that, of course you respect the shooter, but you're not going to respect a shooter who just recklessly shooting. We went shooting the other day, and I feel like for me, holding a weapon for the very first time in my life, holding a gun, made me realize how powerful having this piece of still in my hand is. And there's a level, a high level of responsibility there. And if I was ever in an environment where I owned a gun, I know the responsibility that I have. This takes people's life in an instant, right? And if I was to ever use that weapon because I needed to, then I would want to feel like people respected, because they know and understand that there was a real legitimate reason for me to shoot a pistol or whatever, or a rifle, but not just because I was recklessly shooting. Like, for what? So I think it depends on the context and the intention. Right.
And you got to respect, you just got to respect the power that you have in your hand, and you got to have respect for human life. What's funny is,
of course,
one thing, a lot of people they'll exercise they'll go to the range constantly. They'll make sure, oh yeah, my aim is nice. My aim is this and that. One of the things that I'm actually big on and I want to get better is rendering first aid. I always keep a first aid kit in my car. I got a tourniquet. I got life-saving things, because I want to save a life as well. If I could save someone's life, that to me is just as important as defending my own life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I try to make sure, I open up my kit. Okay, I know how to use the stuff, my bandages, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I said, the tourniquet, I could save, I want to save someone, you know what I'm saying? But too many people get caught up in oh, my gun game's tight. Yeah, anybody F with me, this, that, and the third, they gonna see what it is, so.
And another point
and you make a really good point there. So, sorry, Jeez, I was going to say, you made a really good point there, because I know that I done first aid maybe like once in my life, but like if someone was to like collapse now or whatever the case is, I wouldn't really know what to do. I'd be frantic. So yeah, I feel like practicing first aid, we should be doing that as much as we might be going to the gun range and practicing how to aim and shoot, aim and fire. Like, it is important to know how to save a life, how to react in situations where people may be hurt or injured. It's just important. So yeah, I just wanted to co-sign that.
Yo, hold on, man. I'm looking at I don't know if y'all got up to it where, it's yo, why you keep, I know Chantel's the queen, but I got a little bit of play. Chantel getting all these reruns. What's going on?
I got her looped, you know what I'm saying?
You got her looped, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's only 39 seconds long. And so to be fair with Chantel, for your first time, I think you did very well. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing a lot of coaching per se. I was just kind of making sure you were being safe. You know what I mean? There's a couple things we could have improved on there, for sure. And I think we did. Actually, this was an early video in that shooting session. I'm saying that I don't want anybody to get it twisted. Like, yo, Tom, you ain't that nice of a trainer. Yo, trust me. I'm me personally, I'm surgical with the bitch. Hey, Jake, I'm surgical with the bitch. Fucking, but I was just kind of doing a lot of things at the same time. And Chantel, I think you handled it well.
Tom you was a great teacher. Thank you. You was a great. Gizo, can I just say, because I would say this to Tom, I'm not sure if I said to this to you in the States, you was trying to get me shook on the rifle, right? After we were shot in the pistol, but I found shooting the rifle.
Oh, the revolver.
Oh, the revolver.
Yeah.
The revolver. Sorry, the revolver.
I broke out the 357 Magnum. Yeah, you seem to like that one better, but you got better as the session continued. So salute to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you were
hell in there.
But you didn't think it was gonna be it was gonna be as nerve wracking as it was, right? I think you kind of initially you're like,
it's nerve wracking.
Yo, next time we gotta go to the Milford one with the AC. It was like 99 degrees in there.
Yeah, it was. I was sweating like a pig. Oh my god! But we had fun. You know what I'm saying? Here's Gizo, a horrible grip. You know what I'm saying? Freaking
whatever, man. Yo, back on the Zimmerman shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking at the documentary late last night. And yo, you know what I'm saying? They got a dude actually owning a gun shop, and he was like, with the Confederate flag and talking about, yeah, everybody thinks that the Confederate flag is about, one thing, and he's like, what is it about? He's
Where
like,
was this at? My bad. Where was it?
It was a gun shop.
Okay.
I don't know. Probably in Florida, because Zimmerman,
I got you.
I don't know if he's still in Florida, but. So they asked this guy, so what was it about? He's like, well, most people would think it's about slavery. And it's like, so what else was it about? And he was like, well, I'm not a historian or whatever. And then it's like, well, it was about slavery. We know that. And he was like, yeah, but and he couldn't answer anything else that the Confederate flag was about. Yeah, a lot of people have history to the Confederate flag that grew up in the South. Well, come on, you're talking about hundreds of years ago. So hundreds of years ago in the South, it was a lot of slavery. And that's basically what it was about. The main purpose, layman's terms, it was about slavery. It was about keeping people in bondage. That were my ancestors. So what are you talking about? And then he looks all stupid when y'all got to look at it. He looks all stupid when he's like, well, and then like it had like his fiance, and there was another woman, I know it was a girlfriend that was scared to even call the cops on Zimmerman because, they were like, he's going to get free and he might kill me and he always gets off. So it's like, people, not black people. There were white women that was saying this. And then you had a guy, I don't know, say I didn't do any research, but it was a guy, I think he was white, that went to jail for like shooting at Zimmerman. He shot him when he was in the car.
they got it. It was like some road rage shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then basically the guy tried to say, I was just defending my, I was just standing my ground, but that argument didn't work for him because basically he crashed. He was like, because I think they found out that he crashed him on purpose. Yeah, basically he was out there, looking for some shit.
Just like Zimmerman was.
But he wasn't able to kill him. See, that was just funny. If he would have killed Zimmerman, he could have made up a whole fake bullshit story. You know what I'm saying? Zimmerman wouldn't have been there to, state his case.
Yeah, I don't know if it was at nighttime in the cut or if it was like with witnesses, like with that other stand your ground case that's going on where that guy got caught on video trying to say he stood his ground and you actually had a chance to move, but you just like sat there and just put out a gun and counted to 10 and shot somebody. But anyway, getting back to the Zimmerman, I'm about to get off it real quick, but this like not that we already know he's a coward. He's mad. So, if he's coming up to CT, I know I got some things around here for him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not around
no threats, you know what I'm
saying?
Oh yeah,
no threats. No threats. Not saying like
you
threats,
treat that man. You buy him a beer, all right?
Yeah, I'm buying you a beer, Zimmerman. We're gonna take you to the hood, man. Come to the BX. I took Tom and Chantel to the hood.
Yeah. Gizo took us to the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like I'm trying to say, I'm gonna get on and off it, but this dude just got. I have kids. I have 2 sons and a daughter. So, even if I didn't, I still would be mad because that's a young youth that got cut down. He didn't need it to be. I know people gonna be like, oh. All this other no, we talking about Zimmerman getting off, and then that sparked like Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof said they asked him, "Why did you kill those 9 people in the church?" And then he pointed to Trayvon Martin. Actually, it was this fake news article, and I'm saying fake news because it was Trump. It had a black guy shooting sideways. It said at the bottom, remember, it said 98% of black people killed by black people. Then it kept going up and up. So it's basically trying to say that we're savages against ourselves, like there's no white on white crime. they're trying to make it seem like blacks kill more people than anybody else, which is, I'm not gonna get on to stats, but that has nothing to do with apple and oranges, peaches and cream. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But I want to end on a note that there's so much shit with Zimmerman that gets me tight. But hey, a lot of people, even that dude that was in the Charlottesville thing that had all those guns. Remember he got caught. He got taken to jail and he was crying. The guy that had all those guns, he said he was ready for the race war. That guy, he was a boy head white dude.
The crying Nazi.
Yeah, the crying Nazi. That's a good example. That's a good way to describe him. He was talking about, I got to go back to Trayvon Martin. Why y'all all going back to Trayvon Martin? He was the victim. He wasn't. Right. He didn't shoot Zimmerman and Zimmerman died. Zimmerman shot him.
Well, that was their event horizon, right? That right there for these white supremacists was the case. You know what I'm saying? Zero, or what do we call it? Patient zero. You know what I mean? For why they need to be armed, right? Because these young black men are just apparently just fucking too strong, right? For a white male adult, you know what I'm saying? Or in this case, because Zimmerman is Hispanic, you know what I'm saying? So let's keep it a buck. He's Hispanic, he's a white man as well, you know what I mean? Of Jewish descent, I guess, but so that's why they all go back to that, letting people know, this is why we got them things. Because look, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about, how old was he? 16?
Something like
16,
that.
you know what I'm saying? A 16-year-old man beat the shit out of a 200 and something pound. A 16-year-old boy beat the shit out of a grown man.
And he supposedly knew MMA, which I got to really get on my ish, because if he...
Right.
But, real quick, I'm ending on this note. That dude basically... I'm going to have to come back to this because I'm going in too much. We're going to go to the next topic if you want. I'm sorry.
All right, so we have, I flashed on the screen a little while ago, but this cop, right, and this shit is the egregious story of the week, right? Amber Geiger, I guess, you know what I mean? She thinks she's going into her apartment, right? She's a cop, right? She just worked a 15-hour shift, and we'll get into that a little more. But then she sees what she believes is a black guy in her apartment. She issues a couple verbal commands. He doesn't respond. You know what I'm saying? Because generally, when we're in our freaking homes and someone walks into our house, we don't do what they tell us to do, right? Our freaking home is our castle. Bottom line. No one tells us what to do unless it's your wife, you know what I'm saying? If you're a guy, you know what I'm saying? But my married people know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? No one else, you know what I'm saying, can tell us what to do in our freaking homes. So this guy's probably looking at her like, yo, what the fuck? Get the fuck out my house. You know what I mean? And she's sitting there, get on the ground, this, that, and the third. Fucking boom, 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 he's dead. I mean, this shit is fucking ridiculous. Like I was telling Jizo, you know what I'm saying, a little bit earlier offline. The police need to stop with this shit with I issued verbal commands. I thought I saw something. I thought I saw something and the person didn't respond to my, commands is not a good enough fucking excuse to kill someone. Bottom line.
Yeah, basically, bottom line, I couldn't say it any better because when I heard this and I'm like, okay, so what kind of fuckery they gonna pull now? Oh, and then, I was listening to Madison earlier. He's like, here they go. Oh, it was that night. And she got off for a 15-hour shift and she couldn't see and this and that. Like, so they trying to put together, they probably telling her, don't say shit. We're going to make up some kind of story to, get you off or at least not get you locked up for the rest of your life. And it's sad to say, man, like these cases, man, another year or two, a lot of people, half the people going to forget about it. I mean, not everybody's going to, of course, forget about it, but, just like the cops in Cali that killed Stephen Clark.
Right.
I think, and you really have to keep up with it because there's so much stuff that goes on. And then I was talking to, I'm not going to say who I was talking to, but, our main man, he was like, yo, with the whole thing with, it's just like, I don't know. I get too emotional with this sometimes, man. But go ahead, Chantel. I know.
I feel like this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard about in my life. I can't understand how you could walk into someone else's house, not know it was your house, and shoot them. It's almost sounds so ridiculous that it's like, is this even a setup just to almost say like, how can we get black people so angry that they're going to go out and burn the country down or something? Because this is absolutely incredible, unbelievable. Like, obviously we don't know the details and the facts of it, but it just doesn't make no sense to me.
Right, and we're never
You
gonna
know,
know. You know, she was off duty. She probably didn't have her if she had a body cam, she probably didn't have it on at the time.
They
You
never
know, so
have it on.
no, but how did she get into someone else's house though, and not know it was
right,
not her house? That's what I
maybe
can't
right
understand.
because she lived on a different floor. Right, she parked in a parking garage in a different. She parked on the wrong floor and then went to the wrong apartment. You know, now like Jizo said, you know, they're already.
It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. I honestly, you know, they need to check her toxicology, right? So is this lady on drugs? Is she drinking? Did she hit the bar after she went out of that shift? She got out of that shit. Don't get me wrong. You bust your ass all day. You know, you want to go have a nice beer. You know what I'm saying? Have what is it? Uncle nephew, Shanta.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen, I could drink a whole bottle of Ray and Nephew. I'm not going to walk into someone else's yard. That I will
Okay.
tell you. I always know where my own front door is. So that doesn't make no sense. And if she's a cop, why would she be taking drugs?
right? And well, why would you, Chantel?
London Taylor said it's called I'm white and I say so.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But no, these cops use drugs. They're just like everyone else in society. You know, they use drugs. They use a lot of the male cops, and I don't know about the female ones, but they're on steroids. They're smoking weed. They're doing coke. They're like living the fast life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these police officers. So, and obviously not all of them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are good, hardworking people, want to go home to their families. You know what I'm saying? Freaking raise a family like everybody else. You know, but they're already setting it up with this bullshit 15 hours. No, it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
is. And you know, Shanta, what do you think the response would be in England if this would happen? You think people would be out in the streets?
They'd be out on the streets, 100%. 100%.
And all what's funny, and again, I always go back to these little groups, these Second Amendment groups, these anti-government groups here in the United States, right? These they call themselves I forget what there are these I forget the term for them, but basically they have sovereign, right? These sovereign people, right? We have the sovereignty. The government doesn't rule over us, you know. So and usually they're made up of generally angry white men, right, who feel somehow suppressed, you know, because Barack Obama became the president. That's what it all boils down to, you know what I mean? Or Democrats or women are, you know, more they're in politics more and more. So, you know, but where are these groups, these anti-government groups? They should be out here. You would think they would be out here right now saying, "Damn." You know what I'm saying? An officer of the law just went into somebody's house and killed them. You would think they would be outside marching hand in hand with black people, but no, they're quiet.
I'm not co-signing rioting. I don't think that people should actually go out and burn down shops, etc. But it just feels like all these things seem to be happening, and it's almost like, how angry can we get people? Because you would be livid at this type of situation or something like this. These things are not normal. These things shouldn't be happening. Like, how many more incidents can happen? It just gets worse and worse and worse. They kill women, get away with it. They kill men, obviously getting away with it. You know, is it going to be a young child next? People walking into someone's house, like you say, you walk into your home, you lock your door. You're supposed to be protected. You're supposed to feel at peace. You don't expect someone to barge into your home and kill you because they walked into their own house.
And they can't say it was a crack house or nothing. This dude, you see him in the suit. He was an accountant. He was doing good in life. He looked like he was winning. I mean, he wasn't in the streets. I mean, you know, come on, man. Like, it wasn't like a raid and it went wrong. No, you just messed up. And these cops that, I know some cops that are, you know, man, but yo, y'all got to get it together. I mean, I know there's a lot of cops out there that are good, but it's just like a few bad apples spoiled a whole bunch, they say. This is what's going on, because that's why growing up in the hood, you don't trust cops. I mean, I even from Amadou Diallo when I grew up in the Bronx, 41 shots. You know, come on, like, really? How many?
He was reaching for his wallet.
Yeah, reaching for your wallet. Or
I think one of the cops, the two of them, had to even reload their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or what's it? So that was Amadou. What about the other one that got the plunger stuck up? They
I forgot.
I can't remember his name. That was the
chat room. Help us out.
It was that Diallo? No, Diallo.
No, Amadou Diallo.
That was Amadou.
Yeah, I mean, so many, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, like
Sean Bell.
Same time. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, the list just goes on. You know, and that's why, you know, I had talked about with a friend of mine. You know, like, you know, we have we have like the 9/11 memorial. Of course, that's you know, they deserve that. You know what I mean? We have Vietnam memorials. the Vietnam veterans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a shitty war. We shouldn't have fought it, but they deserve to be recognized.
Yeah.
I want to build a wall personally, and I've been kind of mulling this over for a while. Like, I need to go to the big wigs, like, yo, I want to do a roving memorial, right? So this would be on a flatbed truck. I'm kind of putting it out here. This would be on a big flat, so it would be granite, and I want all the victims of police abuse on this memorial, right? And this thing would travel from city to city so people can come see, you know, and pay homage to the victims. You know what I mean? Because we got a memorial for everybody. You know what I mean? Fuck it. What about the victims of police brutality? They need to be recognized as well.
Yeah, because that was crazy. But yeah, you know, I just want to talk about Cap real quick. I'm with Cap. I know Chantel ain't feeling the Nike. She think they, you know, they are capitalizing on the whole thing. You know, Trump was like, last week Nike stock's gonna plunge. Now it's up 31%. You know, shut up, Trump. You know, what are you talking about? You know, it's not
Abner Louima. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Abner Louima.
Thank you, Chris. You know, yeah. So like, yo, Kaepernick. I think when I know, because I've done it already. I'm not gonna be standing up or putting my hand over my heart for an anthem that was, you know, talking about killing or having people in bondage, and then they edit. It's like an edit. It's like we say, instead of fuck, we say freak. You know what you mean, right? So you're singing about our country being liberated, but why didn't you just take that whole song out and put another song in? I mean, now it's so embedded in our brains and memory, like, you know what?
I just came up with an idea, Gizo, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, man, but I had to break in. I think Kanye should write the new national anthem.
Yeah, he probably would have some crazy-ish, you know, that shit they did with Whitney's picture is crazy, but that's a whole nother story. But I think that Cap is doing his thing. I'm proud that he stood up, you know, and like some people said, like, you know, I was talking to, you know, our main man earlier, and he was like, yo, a lot of black people wouldn't like kneel if it was a protest where your boss told you, nah, you can't kneel in here and protest. A lot of people wouldn't, and I wanted to talk to them about that. Like, yeah, now a lot of black people wouldn't kneel because if that's the only thing they have, like, okay, Kaepernick, he lost out on other millions of dollars, but I'm pretty sure he's multi. But he can, you're not saying he still gave up a lot of money for what he believed in, but a regular person that only has that job, and if they lose that job, they're on the streets. Kaepernick is not living on the streets, so let's get it right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, of course, I'm if I got a job like Tom, I don't think you would. If your boss say, "Listen, I'm gonna fire you," and you know if you kneel, oh really? Okay, all right, I'll do it another way. But if you're an athlete or entrepreneur, yeah, it might hurt my business if I stand for what I believe in, but yo, if you don't really want to support me or my business because you believe different, then I don't really want your business. You know, I mean, the NFL is different because it's not his business. He's a part of the NFL, but yo, he's multi, so I don't think he is hurting because he can't do what he loves and he's not making the money he probably could make, but he'll make it in other ways. Now, for me to kneel at a job that I might lose and then my family be on the street because I want to protest, that's different because, you know, a lot of people, 90% of, like you said, we're the bottom 10% talking about African Americans in this country. So I don't think, a lot of people wouldn't. Oh, we lost her.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll pick her up here in a second.
Yeah, so it's like, that's what I think, man. But
so I want to, you good with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that Cap shirt because the jersey is sold out. You know.
All right, so you falling into the? Well, I know we keep dropping Chantel. I know Chantel's, you know, she's down right now. You know, she's not on with us right now, but I know Chantel feels really strongly, you know, about what up, Cliff Bravo. Thanks for joining us. But she feels real strongly about, you know, this commercialism that's involved, you know, with this whole. It's like a protest / commercialism, right? How do we get people to freaking? And I think, you know, Rich, salute to Rich. Rich was saying it a couple mornings ago that stand by. Let me get Chantel back here. I don't want to end the show without having her on. Let's see here.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah. So my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that basically, I know Chantel and you were saying that they're capitalizing, but you think about it, if I own Nike, and I know that most of my customers are young African Americans. Is
that true? Is that true? I mean, think about it. In America, you know,
well,
black people are only 13% of the population. You know,
I'm not going in statistics. I'm not going to say is that true. It's probably it's put it like this. I'm pretty sure it's more young people than older. These people that are going against the grain, saying that Kaepernick is disrespecting the flag, is mostly older, baby boomers, and they're white and most likely racist because they think that he's disrespecting the flag, which a lot of I think in the military field it's probably 50-50 maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to get into percentages, but I think
Can I say something?
Cut me off.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I know you got cut. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, the thing is, what I've learned from working in digital marketing, right, is that a lot of these brands, right, they come up with, because they're quite PC anyway, they come up with code words which basically means black, right? So obviously one of the code words for black is urban. People don't use urban as much anymore. But what I learned when I was working in digital marketing with these agencies, when they want to basically aim certain campaigns to black people, they now call it the youth market. So I feel like Nike, for example, recognize that a core demographic who buy their products is the so-called youth market, which is a lot of black kids, people that live in urbanized areas, just kind of live this kind of like street life kind of thing, right? And it's not just black kids, it's all children, young people that kind of embrace that hip hop culture, that kind of thing. So they know that they got a strong market there. So this is what I'm saying. They because they know this, and they don't necessarily have people from that demographic who work with them because they're not in those jobs. Like, they then have to create the narrative. They have to build the narrative. They have to now tell us what we're supposed to like, what we're supposed to embrace, what we're supposed to buy, what music we're supposed to listen to, what acts we're supposed to rate. They feed the culture. It's not their culture, but through marketing and advertising and branding and through serving their capitalist needs, they do what the hell they want, right? And so that's why I'm very skeptical about this whole thing, because I feel like, okay, Nike might in turn be doing a good thing for, like I said last week, for Black lives. It might help stimulate the mindset of more people to say, actually, yeah, Black lives really do matter. But I think the bottom line is they've always got to keep on brand. They've always got to keep relevant. And I think I put this in the group chat today. You look at, for example, McDonald's, right? McDonald's is like household worldwide name, right? Like the biggest fast food chain in the world. But you're always going to see McDonald's creating adverts. You're always going to see McDonald's having campaigns. You're always going to see McDonald's having seasonal burgers out, because they have to stay relevant. Because if they don't stay relevant, someone else is going to come along and take over. And before you know it, no one ain't really going to be going out there buying McDonald's again. So this is what we need to remember. Everyone knows who Nike is, but right now everyone's talking about Nike. Right. And more time people are going to be like, I'm going to go out and buy Nike now. So that's why we just need to be mindful that this is a marketing, advertising, promotional, branding activity. The bottom line.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I feel what Gizo's saying, but I definitely agree with you as well. I'm kind of, because what the thing, Nike's now becoming a symbol for this resistance. Now let me see if are they going to sustain that effort? Are they going to put money? You know what I'm saying? Freaking in the programs that are going to help, you know what I'm saying? Help the situation. So, or are they just going to make money? Like Rich said, a couple mornings ago, their stock went up $50 million, right? In value, right after that shit. How much of that is going to come back to the hood? I don't know.
Right. And a few weeks ago, actually, London Taylor just made a good point in the room. A few weeks ago, I was going to talk about Nike and the balaclava hoodie that they put out. And the thing is, they put it out, it caused a lot of controversy, and then they took it off the site. That's why I didn't touch on it. But yeah, this is the same company that only a few weeks ago had this young black model promoting this balaclava, just basically was just looked like what the young youths are wearing now in all these drill videos in the UK, looking like menaces, basically. Like, if you see a guy walking with just seeing his eyes, you're going to feel some kind of way about it. And these young men are wearing these balaclavas to go out on the streets now and commit crime. This is the same brand that wanted to jump on the violence and the killings and the stabbings that are happening for branding. And this is the same brand that people are now hyping up and being excited about.
Right. It's like they play with our emotions. And I have to see consistency before I get on board. And that means 10 to 20 years for me. It's got to be a long test period. So, but real quick, Cliff Bravo asked, where is this rule that says that kneeling for the flag is disrespectful and it's a no-no? I don't know where it exists. The rule just comes out of the let's just keep it real. It comes out of the asses of racist people, right? Anti-black racist.
Yeah.
You have to keep in mind, whatever it is that, if Kaepernick would have said, I am going to, I don't know what, I'm going to cross my legs. I'm going to stand, but I'm going to put my left leg, crisscross over my right leg in protest. Oh, that's it. They would come up with anything. If he was moving around too much.
Or he do the Wakanda.
Right, if he did the Wakanda, right? So basically, his hand over his heart. He's putting, he's doing the X over his chest. Anything, and this is that we've seen it even till back in the day, right? When you had people saying, "Oh, Martin Luther King's protest." He's like, I don't mind the protest. It's just the way he does it, right? Meaning the peaceful protest, walking down the fucking block, making it so that everybody's seeing that they have a grievance. That isn't the right way. It's never the right way to protest the symbols of supremacy. That's what it boils down to. So the rule book is just made up, and it just happens on the fly.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen to them, oh, what's the big deal? Oh, another black kid gets killed. Oh, tell him to pull his pants up. Oh, another black kid.
Or he should have listened to what the cops did.
Yeah,
what the cops were saying.
Yeah, I never have a problem with the cops. I hardly see a cop, but the cops are cool with me.
Right.
That's my brother-in-law. My brother. Like the fuck out of it.
It's ridiculous. But guys, I want to go ahead and end off. I don't really have any graphics or anything. I'm just gonna have Chantel busting the gun. Loop again. But I read an article about gun owners, right? And this is no real shock. This is not a big shocker here. I'm not freaking breaking any big news here. But gun owners are more likely to vote than non-gun owners. And the thing that sticks out to me is, what is it that gun owners understand that non-gun owners don't understand? Right, about voting. Right? Is it like what is our thing that's going to motivate us? If guns are motivating them to vote, right? What is it? We're getting right. The police, we're getting killed in the streets. Is that not enough? You know what I mean? We got a white supremacist president. Is that not? What the hell is it going to take? Does it? You know what I'm saying? We got guys like Zimmerman running around. You know what I'm saying? Fucking doing whatever they want, threatening fucking people of notoriety. You know what I mean? And mocking, basically, he murdered someone, you know what I mean? Unjust. Yeah. And almost in every other state, he probably would be found guilty, of at least probably second-degree murder or manslaughter. But Florida being the place that it is, I'm sorry, no disrespect to my Florida people, but Florida, I consider it the taint, you know what I'm saying, the gooch of America. Basically, you know what I'm saying, the perineum of America. For those who don't know what the perineum is, that's the little area, you know what I'm saying, underneath your genitals and your freaking anus. All right, I'm sorry, but
I was about to say, put it where the ghost can get it.
Politically speaking, Florida is a POS state. You know what I'm saying? The people are great. I got family that lives out there, and that's what I'll keep it real. I want to retire. I want to live in some place, you know what I'm saying, that's affordable. Yeah, but I can't go down there.
Yeah, my brother want me to come down there. Hey, yo, real quick, man. Why don't you show me busting the hammer? You keep showing Chantel. What the hell is going on here? I started this WTFU.
So guys, bottom line is, like, we have to find what it is that's going to motivate us. Freaking find what it is that's important to you, and then ask yourself, is this worth just gonna go vote? And voting is just the first part. It's about being active, paying attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Calling up your local representatives to say, I'm gonna call you up every day until I get a fucking answer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk to your secretary. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to write it down. I want you to freaking call me. Tell me what's up. And if you're not going to do anything about my grievance, I'm going to get together with the people from my neighborhood, my community, and your ass is going to be gone. You get your resume on point. You know what I mean? Because these people, believe it or not, they like their little cuss jobs that they have. They love that shit. You know what I mean? Freaking getting all these perks, getting all this bullshit that they get. You know what I'm saying? The notoriety that it affords them. You know what I'm saying? We have to make it uncomfortable. We have to make it to the point where it'd be like, you know what, this shit ain't worth it no more. Because, Tom Horazzo, Jizo, and fucking Chantel don't even sound like she's from around here, but she's calling me anyways. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, I'm not gonna, Chantel, I'm not gonna try to get you.
I'm the London lightweight, and I don't like what's going on in America.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we have to make it, we gotta make it fucking uncomfortable for them. They can't be having that cush job anymore. You know what I mean? So find what it is. So I'm a gun owner, and I'm always voting. I don't, but when I vote, you know what I'm saying, I'm not always thinking about guns. I'm thinking about the social issues, the same shit that we're talking about here every day.
Stop this.
Okay, let's.
Oh, see,
we taking a look at
see how you
Jizo's
do it.
target.
See how you did it, looped it.
Hey, you hit the paper, Jizo. That's all.
That was
counts.
one of my bad target practices and shit.
All right, but you know what?
But he cut Chantel shit out. He just got Chantel busting the hammer.
Chantel's a rookie. All right, she gets that.
I'm a rookie too.
Rookie privilege.
I was 2 years. You took me to the gun range 2 times in 5 years. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I hear.
But Tom, at least I got my bullet in the black circle.
No, you did.
And that's fine.
Yo, shout out to London Taylor. I ain't listening to shit. London Taylor said, I think if London Taylor was over here, I don't know, London. You sound like you would be, the cops over here, that's different from London, man. Like, you talk back, they going to give you that hammer. Mm-hmm. They ain't going to even try to tase you. They going to try to either fuck you up or shoot you, like, depending on, like, how you come about it. Like, they might rough you up if they know you ain't got a gun, but.
First thing they're going to tell you, spread your cheeks, lift your sack. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, that's how they get down over here, man.
Yeah, you can't.
Right off the rip, like, how about my ID? Can I give you my ID first before we get intimate, motherfucker?
Yeah, you can't even. You can't even. It says this is offline, but it says you can't even like talk to them aggressive because they want you to do that. Some of them want you. Oh, word. Oh, you want to be aggressive? All right. Then they gonna figure out a way. Oh, he's resisting. Oh, gun, boom, boom, boom. Like that's how it happened.
So John Paul Shelton, how about we take over one of these wings? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying that we can't take over one of these wings. These wings to me are ready to be clipped. You feel me? Fucking, we don't have to look at it like it's an outside entity. We got to infiltrate the shit, and just like freaking what the Scientologists have done. You know what I'm saying? I think other people in this country have done well. Small groups who have infiltrated the political realms and freaking got what they wanted out of it. You know what I mean? We need to do the same. So, with that being said, I got to get ready to go. I'm off vacation. You know what I'm saying? Back to our regular freaking schedule. So I want to say salute to everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for your contributions. Thanks for helping us. Like I always say, we're the hosts, but you guys are the contributors. Every single last one of you, we really appreciate it.
The shizzle. Peace. London lightweight.
Chantel, you still with us? We're signing off.
That's nice. She got cut off.
I'm here.
Oh,
okay, we're signing off, Chantel.
Oh, you want me to do my speech? My spiel?
oh, you had something?
Tom.
Oh, what's that?
Vernacular.
I have my script ready, but I thought you was like done already.
Did you? I didn't know that you had. Okay, 5, 4, 3.
And I rehearsed it.
2, 1, go.
Thank you for listening to the WTFU American show recorded live from the R&R YouTube platform. For more updates and information, check us out on Instagram and Facebook and visit WTFU America or Chantel London on YouTube, where you will find all previous show recordings. And don't forget to hit those share and subscribe buttons. Peace.
Boom.
Yo, she used my piece.